St. George is no longer a hidden gem in the desert. As the city expands, so do its challenges, from water shortages to rising housing costs and growing traffic.
Yeah, KSL's Tamara Vaifanua explores what is fueling the city's booming growth and how they're grappling with growing pains.
St. George, once a sleepy desert town, now one of America's fastest growing cities.
Secret is out.
The airport is expanding, new developments, dozens of new restaurants and shops, and new businesses like Amazon and a second Costco.
A second Costco is huge for Washington County.
And the population is surging as well, from around 50,000 in 2000 to over 103,000 today.
Every month, it's just new records.
Chad Thomas is the Economic Development Director for St. George. He says the growing city has become a hotspot for travelers, entrepreneurs, and remote workers.
As they say here in the city of St. George, people come for the beauty, but they stay for the community.
I always ask me, what brings you to, like, my little hometown?
Longtime resident Amy Palmer has seen the changes.
How did you even find out about St. George?
And understands why people are staying. But there are downsides to that popularity.
With growth comes a lot of pain points.
Housing prices have jumped over 64% since the COVID boom to an average of $573,000.
It's crazy. Big houses on top of each other.
Those who can afford to buy are often from out of state.
Indiana was the number 3 spot for most people coming to St. George.
Local real estate agent and podcaster Robert McFarland says they come with money to spend.
About 40% of the home sales in Washington County are cash.
Pricing out younger home buyers.
I have 2 younger boys and my daughter, and they're in a townhome, but my other 2, they're like, I don't know if we can afford to even a starter home.
I would definitely consider it a crisis.
Carol Hallwell runs Switchpoint, a nonprofit helping people on the edge of homelessness. She says housing affordability isn't just impacting young families, it's pushing students, seniors, veterans, and others to the brink.
A lot of vacation homes that sit empty for most of the year, but it takes those houses off the market.
Residents like Summer James may have to wait 2 to 3 years for subsidized housing.
It was hard to find housing here.
A single mom of 3, she became homeless after fleeing domestic violence.
What would it mean for you to get a home for you and your boys?
Oh, that would make me cry. I don't know. That would be awesome.
Hallwell says while affordable housing projects are in the pipeline, the need is outpacing the progress.
I could build another 1,000 to 1,200 units right now in Washington County and still not meet the need.
City leaders are racing to keep infrastructure ahead of growth with new zoning, water conservation efforts, and smarter planning. Governor Cox is urging cities like St. George to reduce regulations to allow for smaller housing zones and residential lots.
The city's looking at any opportunities that we can to help make our processes smoother.
As more people settle in the desert, it's putting a strain on another resource, water. St. George just experienced its driest winter in more than 100 years.
We're getting nervous about it because
Zachary Renstrom is the general manager for the Washington County Water Conservancy District. He says the county is already using 90% of its reliable annual water supply, but they are working on solutions.
we have a very robust plan to add several new reservoirs.
That new infrastructure comes at a cost exceeding $1 billion. The community will also need to reuse and conserve the water they already have.
The new homes that are being built today are significantly more water efficient than the ones in the previous, even 20 years ago.
Water isn't just a lifeline for residents, it's the foundation for future economic growth.
We just got recently ranked as the #1 city to start a business in all of America, which is a great thing for us.
St. George has seen a 25% increase in jobs over the last 5 years. That's definitely the upside to all this growth. Leaders say building a local tech economy may be key to creating jobs and affordable housing. That vision is taking shape at Tech Ridge, a 100-acre mixed-use technology park built on the site of the old airport.
Someone could live up here and spend all their time up here, especially once we get our, things like a corner grocery store. All of those aspects are things that I think people want.
Right now, the big draw is the Dragon Tail staircase they just installed.
There's 333 stairs. They're about 12 feet wide.
A place to take in the gorgeous view and test your endurance and see just how much St. George has grown.
Back in the day, it was dirt roads, and now a lot of sitting in traffic lights.
As the community navigates the growing pains of southern Utah's surge, Amy and Chad remain optimistic.
For the most part, growth is good and you can't stop it, you know.
We're trying to not only respect our heritage, but build for our kids and our grandkids.
There's no denying the amazing assets St. George has developed over the years, but in its true pioneer spirit, they will continue its transformation to welcome all who wish to call it home. In St. George for KSL News, I'm Tamara Vaifanua.